Cruise news time. Well, we've got a big day for Florida cruises. It's finally happening. And which cruise line is best right now? As we approach the end of 2021, which cruise line is getting it done the best? Let's say it like that. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Well, welcome back to the show. Welcome one, welcome all, boys and girls of all ages. It's not the circus. First and foremost, let me say this. There's a couple people on the chip from the show yesterday. I mentioned that maybe Amelia Earhart had disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle, which is on the Atlantic, where the Atlantic Ocean is, Bermuda, U.S. And then I was corrected. Amelia Earhart, her last known whereabouts was somewhere over in the Pacific Ocean. So how could she have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle if her last known whereabouts was the Pacific Ocean? Wormholes. Look it up. Michael Keku, he's a physicist, talking Einstein. Wormholes. Simple. Come on, people. I hate that I have to explain it to you. Look, all you Amelia Earhart nerds out there, obviously Amelia Earhart went down in the Bermuda Triangle because she was caught in a wormhole where space and time was bent and she was able to go from one ocean to the other. You're welcome, okay? You're welcome. All right, it's the 6th of October, a big day for cruising here in Florida. Virgin Voyages finally sailing with paying sailors. I'll buy into the new lingo. Finally sailing with paying sailors out of Florida. Port of Miami. Nice itinerary. Miami, going to Costa Maya, going to the beach club at Bimini. That's Virgin Voyages' private deal. And I'm super interested in this. Look, I'll tell you another side story. In 1988, I went to Toronto, Canada with the singing group in high school, and one of the stops there was the Toronto Zoo. And at the Toronto Zoo, they had a McDonald's kiosk. Now, there was a time in the 80s that every time I went to McDonald's, I just bought chicken nuggets because I like chicken nuggets and hot mustard sauce. Any other hot mustard sauce fans here? So I went to the kiosk there in the Toronto Zoo, anticipating that I would be buying chicken nuggets with hot mustard sauce, and there was a new item on the menu, the McChicken. That's right, McDonald's had a chicken sandwich, which blew my mind because previously only my employer, Burger King, really had a chicken sandwich. Chick-fil-A hadn't even come on the scene yet. Apparently they made the first chicken sandwich, but it wasn't there in Nashville yet. So I was like, wow, look, they got a chicken sandwich in the Toronto Zoo. So soon I went home and I asked my McDonald's, I had a friend who worked at McDonald's, when are you getting the chicken sandwich? They're like, we're getting the chicken sandwich. And pretty soon everybody had a chicken sandwich. And I say this to say that a lot of times in business, the best ideas are copied. If you're paying attention to the fast food space right now, there's also another chicken sandwich war, all the way to the fact that Taco Bell is now pimping out a chicken sandwich. They're calling it it's a folded looking taco around a chicken tender, and they're calling it a chicken sandwich. So my question, I wonder what chicken sandwiches will come off Virgin Voyages. I know there's a few chicken sandwiches I would like to see come off of Virgin Voyages. Am I beating this analogy to death? They're doing things like included gratuity, free Wi-Fi, really no standard dining time. They're really trying to break down some of the classic cruising norms and do it in a different way. Will it be too disruptive? Will it make its way onto some major cruise lines? We've talked about it before. That's what we'll continue to watch. 1,300 passengers, I think, right? The Scarlet Lady holds about 2,700. They'll sell at 50% capacity. Congratulations, Richard Branson and Virgin Voyages, for finally putting paying passengers on a cruise ship out of Florida. Get us a good chicken sandwich. How about that? Now let's transition into a conversation about competitiveness in the cruise industry and who the best cruise line is right now as we close out 2021. As we seek to answer that fairly complex question, which is the best cruise line right now at the end of 2021, how do we determine that? Do we just go with brand loyalty, right? Do we just go with the raw emotion? You'll see people like die-hard cruise fans loyal to their brand that have never tried another cruise line. So they're making some sort of value judgment on their cruise line versus all other cruise lines never even trying the other cruise lines. That's what brand loyalty is. That's what companies companies want to get to. But can we get by with just using that? Can we just throw up a poll and say, what's your favorite cruise? Or do we need to have some quantitative data? Well, there's one cruise line CEO he's decided that they're the best cruise line because of their health protocols. Norwegian Cruise Line CEO Frank Del Rio on TV yesterday talking very specifically that one of the reasons that Norwegian Cruise Line has competitive advantage right now is because of their vaccine mandate. And while he gives a nod to the possibility that he may be losing passengers because of the vaccine mandate, he says that for the most part, the vaccine mandate is a competitive advantage. Now, it's an interesting thing because the cruise lines, at one point in time when they were trying to get cruising restarted, they kind of collectively said that they would not be competing over health protocols. But again, that wasn't like a treaties or anything that was signed, anything like that. So you got the main man, Frank Del Rio, out there saying that Norwegian Cruise Line they have a competitive advantage because of the vaccine mandate. Now, competitive advantage, is that enough to say that they are the best cruise line right now? I still say no. I think we have to get to some quantitative nerd data to figure out who the best cruise line is. Can we do it by the numbers? I've got 3 numbers that we will look at. Let's look at the number of ships that are in service, look at the percentage that those ships represent of the fleet, and then let's look at the total number of berths available. Can any one of those 3 determine who the best cruise line is? Now, we're just going to look at the 4 big ones, right? We're going to look at Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean International. We're going to look at Norwegian. We're going to look at MSC. Why those 4? To me, those represent a big majority of the cruising space. Also, they're kind of the entry level to the cruising space. If you think about other cruise lines like Disney and you think about Princess Celebrity, those are kind of tier 2, more expensive, niche-y type, cruise experiences. Let's just look at the 4 big popular ones. Let's do this. Let's just look at who has the most cruise ships or will have the most cruise ships going by the end of 2021. Now, of the 4 brands that we are looking at, number 4, the one that'll have the least number of ships in service as we enter into the new year, Norwegian Cruise Line, 11 cruise ships. Coming in at 3rd place will be Carnival Cruise Line. They will have 17 ships in service by the beginning of the year. 2nd place, MSC, 19 cruise ships in service. And if we just go by number of cruise ships in service as we enter into 2022, well, Royal Caribbean International would win that one. They will have 21 ships in service. Move on and look at percentage of fleets. So in 4th place is Norwegian Cruise Line. 65% of their fleet will be back in service at the beginning of the year. 3rd place, we're looking at Carnival Cruise Line. They're only going to have 70% of their fleet back in service at the beginning of the year. 2nd place, Royal Caribbean International, 85% of their fleet in service by the end of the year, but it's not enough. Coming in first in percentage of fleet back in service, MSC, 90% of their fleet will be rocking and rolling as we move into 2022. Let's look at berths. Okay, Norwegian, again, pulling up the rear here, 38,400 berths. Taking 3rd place in the berth count would be Carnival, 54,354 berths. MSC, 59,328. And then the Mac Daddy with the most capacity online as we move into 2022, Royal Caribbean International, 75,800 berths. So by the numbers, who is the best cruise line right now? Well, certainly Royal Caribbean won 2 of our 4 categories. They won the amount of ships in service and the amount of berths in service, which makes sense. The more ships, the more berths. If we're looking at efficiency, do we say that MSC is doing it better because they've got a greater percentage of their fleet online? Okay, look, honestly, it's going to come down to probably not these numbers at all. It is going to come down to that intangible, really unqualifiable brand loyalty. So that's the question for the comments. Who is the best cruise line right now and why? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Please hit the like button or you're not going to be able to find the special cord that you need for the griddle that you use to make pancakes. You haven't made pancakes in 3 years because you can't find that cord. I should just throw the griddle out or find the cord or buy the cord. Hit the like button. This is Tony with Lido, Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.